The internet is absolutely buzzing right now. Some new photos have surfaced involving Erika Kirk and JD Vance, and people everywhere are trying to figure out what's really going on. Rumors are flying, opinions are clashing, and this story is spreading like wildfire. So if you clicked on this video wondering what all the talk is about, buckle up, because we're about to break down exactly what happened and why everyone's losing their minds over it.
Replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
This whole situation shows just how fragile things can be in the world of politics. One photo, one rumor, and suddenly, everything you've built can be shaken in a matter of seconds. And the timing couldn't be more intense, because JD Vance is one of the most talked about political figures right now, and Erika Kirk has suddenly found herself in the middle of a storm she probably never saw coming. The internet detectives are working overtime on this one, trying to figure out how these images even surfaced in the first place. From what's being said, these photos didn't just appear out of nowhere. Someone may have been holding on to them for a while, and the big question everyone's asking is why now? Why release them at this exact moment? It's a mystery that's only deepening. Erika Kirk's team is reportedly working hard to respond and clarify what's really going on, while millions of people online are watching every update in real time. But here's where it gets even more complicated. This story isn't just about a few pictures anymore. There are now claims of private meetings, deleted messages, and people close to both sides speaking out. Some sources even suggest there could be more information that hasn't been made public yet, that what we've seen so far might only be the beginning. Meanwhile, JD Vance's team has stayed surprisingly quiet, which has only fueled more speculation. Everyone's waiting to see what's said next, and whether this controversy will fade away or explode into something even bigger.
The Vice President of the United States took the stage in Oxford, Mississippi tonight. His appearance comes as Turning Point USA makes a stop on its American comeback tour.
Now, JD Vance, as most of you already know, is the Vice President of the United States, having won alongside Donald Trump in the 2024 election. Ever since taking office, he's been one of the most talked about and, at times, most controversial figures in American politics. So, naturally, anything connected to him instantly becomes national news. That's why, the moment Erika Kirk's name started appearing alongside his in this developing story, the media completely lit up. News outlets, social platforms, and commentators everywhere jumped on it, each trying to figure out what's real, what's rumor, and what it could all mean.
Loved to immerse himself in the culture of the campus that he was in. And so, from word on the street, you guys have a chant out there.
Remember when we mentioned how those photos were released at the most suspicious time possible? Well, it turns out Erika Kirk truly believed her personal life would remain private. But in today's world, privacy is almost impossible to protect, especially when you're connected to people at the very top of politics. Once something hits the internet, it spreads in seconds. And for public figures, that means every detail, every moment, and every image can be analyzed, questioned, and debated by millions of strangers almost instantly.
I'll ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance.
One by one, different versions of the photos began appearing across social media. It seemed clear that whoever released them wanted to make sure they reached as many people as possible. Within hours, the images were everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and practically every major platform. Some reports suggest that Erika Kirk tried to get ahead of the story by contacting certain media outlets, hoping to clarify what was really going on. But by the time she tried to respond, the story had already taken on a life of its own. The internet was flooded with speculation, and her name was trending nationwide. You can imagine what it must feel like. Opening your phone and seeing thousands of notifications, realizing that your entire life is suddenly under public scrutiny. And as for JD Vance, his team is said to be working around the clock, carefully managing how to respond while trying not to make the situation worse.
A video showing Erika Kirk, widow of slain conservative leader Charlie Kirk, embracing US Vice President JD Vance at a public event. Well, this image has ignited widespread speculation online.
Some of the photos that surfaced online show Erika Kirk and JD Vance in what appears to be a friendly conversation, laughing, talking, and interacting closely at a public event. In one image, she's seen resting her hand on his arm as they lean in to hear each other over the crowd. Another shows them standing in what seems like a quieter corner of the venue, away from the noise and cameras. Not long after, social media users began examining every detail. Some claimed the photos were taken months earlier, suggesting they weren't recent at all, and that's when questions about context started to spread. In response, Erika Kirk's legal team issued a statement saying the photos were being misinterpreted, emphasizing that she and JD Vance were simply attending a political fundraising event, and that what looked like something more was, in reality, a professional interaction taken out of context. But as often happens in the digital age, the internet had already formed its own conclusions. And while the investigation continues into how and why those photos were shared, the situation has reignited a larger conversation about privacy, media responsibility, and how quickly public opinion can shift when personal moments are taken out of their original setting.
Cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile, my every tear.
According to reports, Erika Kirk had previously received online messages warning that parts of her private life might be exposed. At the time, she reportedly dismissed them as ordinary internet threats, something many public figures encounter. But soon after, those warnings appeared to become reality when the photos were released publicly. Observers have noted that the situation may have deeper political implications, given how quickly it spread and how closely it involved people in high-profile positions. Analysts point out that in today's media environment, even a single leaked image can be used to shape public perception or influence narratives, intentionally or not. Now, discussions have expanded beyond this one incident. People are asking larger questions about digital privacy, online security, and the ethics of releasing personal material connected to public officials. Whatever the original intent behind the leak, the event has sparked a broader debate about how vulnerable anyone, even those in powerful positions, can be in the age of instant information.
Is let everyone see and know how it happened.
Since the story first gained attention, a few new developments have surfaced. Observers noticed that Erika Kirk appears to be making changes to her online presence. Reports show she has recently removed a number of posts from her social media accounts, including photos and updates related to past public or political events. Some analysts say this may be part of a broader effort to protect her privacy while the situation continues to unfold. Meanwhile, clips of a past JD Vance interview have begun circulating again. In that conversation, recorded several months ago, he was asked about his professional relationships within the political world. At the time, the exchange didn't attract much attention, but in light of recent events, people are re-examining his comments for additional context. Together, these developments show how quickly digital information can resurface and take on new meaning when viewed through the lens of a public controversy.
Very, very tough situation. You have two peoples, two enemies who fought a very tough conflict against each other. You have a terrorist organization on one hand that murdered a lot of innocent people.
Hey, everyone. Before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We bring you all the latest stories in politics, current events, and breaking news. Today, we're diving into a story that has the internet talking nonstop, the situation involving Erika Kirk and JD Vance. This story is full of unexpected twists, unanswered questions, and lessons about privacy, professional boundaries, and public perception. It all started when a set of photos appeared online showing Erika Kirk and JD Vance at a public political event. In some images, they are laughing and talking closely, leaning in to hear each other over the crowd. In others, they appear to be standing off to the side in quieter areas of the venue. Almost immediately, social media erupted. People began analyzing every detail, the posture, the gestures, even the angle of the photos. Some analysts suggested that the images were taken months ago, which made the timing of the leak all the more suspicious. Erika Kirk's legal team quickly responded, stating that the photos are being misinterpreted. According to her representatives, she and JD Vance were simply attending a professional fundraising event, and the images only appear more intimate than they really were. While the statement was clear, the internet rarely waits for clarification. The story spread rapidly across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. Overnight, millions of people had seen the photos, and the speculation began. Interestingly, Erika had reportedly received messages before the leak warning her that her private moments could be exposed. At the time, she reportedly dismissed these warnings as empty internet threats. Unfortunately, the warnings turned out to be real. This incident highlights how even public figures with professional reputations are vulnerable to privacy breaches in today's digital world. One single leak can dominate headlines and public conversation for days, and sometimes weeks. Looking closer at the professional context, Erika Kirk has worked on multiple high-profile political campaigns. Some of these campaigns had overlapping connections with JD Vance's political circle. In fact, reports suggest that over the past 6 months, they were at the same events in the same cities at least 7 different times. While this could be coincidental, it has led people to examine their interactions more closely. In addition, industry newsletters and insider conversations hinted at their professional interactions months before the leak, though no names were mentioned. Now, with the photos circulating, people are revisiting those hints to understand the bigger picture. Since the story broke, Erika has been making noticeable changes to her online presence. She has reportedly deleted numerous posts from Instagram, removed references to political events, and limited her public interactions with media. Similarly, clips of JD Vance's past interviews have resurfaced as people re-examine his statements in light of current events. Analysts point out that this situation demonstrates how quickly digital footprints can come back to haunt even experienced professionals. What was once minor or unnoticed can suddenly become a major public story. Speculation about the origin of the leak has been widespread. Some analysts suggest political motivations. Perhaps rival political factions wanted to create a distraction or influence public perception about JD Vance. Others speculate that the leak may have come from a personal dispute, possibly someone close to Erika who felt wronged or wanted revenge. Law enforcement reportedly began investigating to determine if unauthorized access to private accounts or devices was involved. If that's the case, this could turn into a serious criminal matter. While the story started with photos, it has sparked a much larger conversation about privacy, professional boundaries, and ethics in the digital age. Public opinion formed rapidly, often without all the context. People began analyzing every public interaction, every comment, and every connection between Erika Kirk and JD Vance. The situation is a perfect example of how private actions can quickly become public controversies. Looking back, Erika Kirk has a history of high-profile work and past controversies, though most remained contained within political circles. She has been involved in multiple campaigns over the years, and her professional decisions have sometimes drawn scrutiny. For example, reports suggest that in the past, she faced accusations related to strategic documents and campaign decisions, though no legal action resulted. Observers note a pattern in her career. She is highly ambitious and often operates in high-pressure environments, which can lead to public scrutiny when professional and personal interactions overlap. This story also raises questions about how much information the public can and should consume. In the digital era, once information is online, it spreads immediately and public opinion forms almost instantly. Even if statements or clarifications are released later, the initial perception can stick. Erika Kirk and JD Vance's legal teams are reportedly trying to manage the situation carefully, but in the age of viral media, controlling the narrative is extremely challenging. Furthermore, the leaked photos have prompted discussions about the ethics of sharing private content. Whether the release was politically motivated, personally motivated, or simply the result of a breach in privacy, it raises serious questions. How should private individuals and professionals protect themselves? How should the media report on sensitive situations without inflaming speculation? And how should the public respond when confronted with partial information that can be misleading? Ultimately, this situation is more than just a political story. It is a case study in modern media, public perception, and professional risk. It shows how quickly events can escalate online, how digital footprints can resurface unexpectedly, and how important it is to understand both the risks and responsibilities of public and professional life. At the time of this recording, Erika Kirk and JD Vance are continuing to handle the situation cautiously. Investigations are ongoing to determine how the photos were obtained and shared, and the public continues to speculate and discuss the implications. This story serves as a reminder of how complex modern life can be when private and public spheres intersect, and how quickly information can shape perceptions, reputations, and careers. So, what can we take away from this? First, privacy matters more than ever, and online threats are not always empty. Second, professional interactions can easily be misinterpreted, especially in highly visible or political settings. And third, public perception is extremely powerful, sometimes more powerful than facts, context, or intent. What do you think about this situation? Do you believe Erika Kirk and JD Vance's explanation, or do you think there's more to the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates, analysis, and in-depth storytelling about current events and politics. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.